Right, so in this video we're looking at the Caddx Polar Nano camera, and this is an order that's arrived from Flywoo, so I purchased this myself. So this one here is actually the Naked Vista unit with the Polar Nano camera, and we'll have a look at it. So this is what you actually get. Now I've ordered two of these, so they've come in. So we can see the Naked Vista unit here and the Polar Nano there. Okay, if we just jump over to the website and have a look. Okay, it's a bit interesting on the website. They actually show it with this camera, which is the Nebula Nano. And although on the website they do advertise it as the Polar Nano. Okay, so just happy to see they actually did get the correct camera there. Now let's have a look. I ordered two of these units, so I've got another one here that's been taken apart. Okay, so what you actually get is the connectors. So we've got the 4mm standoffs, 8 of those, and 9.4mm M2 bolts there. Right, if we have a look at this unit here, okay, I might just zoom in and have a look at that. Okay, so a couple of interesting things to note. So first of all, they put some sort of tape over here. So I think you can see it there. There's some sort of tape that's been placed over the connector, and there's also a piece on the back of this end as well. Another thing they put is this piece here. Okay, so this is just a little bit of foam, and this is actually the MIPI connector here. So you can see when the top unit actually comes down, you can see that piece of foam actually pushes down on the MIPI connector there to keep it in place. One more thing we've got is I just noticed that the pads here are already soldered. They're already tinned. So I guess they've actually, when they've pulled it apart, they've actually tinned that just to make it all ready to go. Another interesting thing is the length of the cord. So if we put this here, we'll just put the camera down here, stick that down so it won't move. If we look at the cord, we've got a length of about 7.5 centimeters. And that's the length of the cord. So it's just interesting to note that on the Nebula Nano, this cord here is much longer. So this is about an 11 centimeter cord, the MIPI cord on that one. All right, let's put the cameras side by side and have a look at the length of them. Of course, you can see that the Polar Nano is much shorter. All right, so I'm going to line these up here. So with the bolt holes, okay, so the mounting holes there, I'm going to line them up together so we can see exactly how much shorter it is. So the thinking here is, of course, if you have a quad that's already got the Nebula Nano in it and you swap it over to the Polar Nano, how much further back is the lens going to be? And it appears to be about 2.5 millimeters back. So it's quite a bit shorter. Okay, so this is going to make a little bit of a difference if you've got side plates there, and you might see a little bit of a view of the side plates. So you may have to just shave those side plates off so you don't get the side plates into the view if you're swapping over to the Polar Nano camera. Okay, so I'm going to be flying this. I've got one upgraded Tiny Hawk here, and this one's going to have the Nebula Nano in it. I'll put the Polar Nano in my second one here, and we'll fly the same course and just compare the videos side by side. Right, so we're going to compare the Caddx Polar Nano to the Caddx Nebula Nano. I've got two drones here. This one's got the Polar Nano, and this one's got the Nebula Nano in it. And we're going to fly an identical course around the park here and see which one looks better. Now, a lot of videos are comparing the Caddx Polar Nano to the Caddx Polar, which is really pretty much pointless because you're not going to swap one for the other. This is a 14mm form factor, while the Caddx Polar is a 19mm form factor. So you're not really going to swap a drone that's got a Caddx Polar for a Polar Nano. So that's why we're comparing the Nebula Nano and the Polar Nano. So it's more likely that you're going to have a drone like this one that's got the Caddx Polar Nano in it, and you're looking at swapping that out, sorry, the Caddx Nebula Nano in it, and you're looking at swapping that out for the Caddx Polar Nano. So flying these two drones around the park and getting a comparison of the video from both of them, we're going to put them side by side and look at them, and that might give you an idea of whether it's worth paying the money to upgrade to the Polar Nano. So let's have a look. Just a little bit about these videos. They're both recorded at 50 megabit bitrate and focus mode is turned off. Now, as we're going through here, these are taken on separate flights, so you might see me pause one of the videos while the other one catches up. It's actually quite overcast on this day, so as we come around the trees here and go up past the top of the trees, it's interesting just to look at how both of the cameras handle the low light conditions with the bright background. And then as we come up a little bit higher and look out over the houses, just take a note of the colour of the house roofs as well, and how the saturation looks on both of the cameras. So while the previous video looked at more proximity work flying through trees and on an overcast day, this video here at the beach is on a sunny day, and we're up at a fair height and just cruising around and looking at scenery shots. So of course both of these cameras have got very different images in terms of the brightness and saturation, and so at the end of the day it's not really about which one is better, it's about how much better the one you think is better is. So at the moment the Polar Nano is being sold by Flywoo for about $43. So I guess the real question is, do you think it's worth $43 to upgrade from a Nebula Nano to a Polar Nano? That's the question. If you found this video useful, please do like and subscribe, and until next time, happy flying.